What up, beautiful souls? Welcome to another video. This video is a with extra feels video. I've made a few of these now and I think I want to make more, but the intention behind these videos is to create a bit of a space where I can talk about things that are a little bit more vulnerable, things like emotions and healing journeys and stuff that's kind of like not super popular, but is very important to me and to a lot of other people. So this particular video, I want to talk about mental health, my experience with mental health. May, the month of May, is Mental Health Awareness Month, and that's why I'm making this video. That's been the prompt anyway, to remind me, oh, this is a conversation that needs to continue, and people might enjoy an update from me in terms of my mental health and my journey with my mind. Why is it important that we bring awareness to this? Where do I begin? Like, awareness is the first step. It's without awareness, we can't even know that something needs to change, you know? So if there's something in your blind spot and you don't look around to check it and see it, there's no way you're gonna do anything about it. You don't even know it's there. So to shine light on something so that we can see it for the first time, and bring it into our field of awareness, that's the first step. Then we can start making some changes. Why is it important to start making some changes? Well, for me, my experience with mental health is it's literally healing my mental health and working on that has completely changed the way I experience reality. And that's not me overplaying the situation. I'm literally living in a different reality because my mind is different and my perceptions are different. I'm looking at life through different lenses now that are less distorted. Yeah, I'm having a much fucking better time in my life since I've been on this journey of mental health awareness and healing. And I really want to spread this message that it is totally possible to not only bring awareness to things that you might not be aware of that are having negative impacts on our lives, but also to seek help in healing those and really make so much progress with our mental health that our lives are literally completely different and so much better, so much juicier. So let's talk about depression to begin with. Now, depression is something that I've been suffering with for years and years and years and years without knowing. I didn't realize because there were so many positive things going on in my life that I didn't think I had any reason to feel anything other than happy, or at least content. So if we think about the scale of emotions, let's think about, like, the top of the scale is like euphoric bliss, like you're just crying with joy, nothing else matters, there's nothing on your mind, you're just fully in your human experience, exploding heart, love, gratitude, heaven, basically. And at the bottom of the spectrum is like fear, deep grief and sadness and guilt and shame. And this is a scale of vibration as well. This is a scale of frequencies. So energy, the frequencies of the energy of the emotions are energy in motion, that moving through our bodies will put our physical body on a scale of frequency, on a scale of vibration. So up here is a high frequency, it's like a high octave where everything is in co-resonance and nothing seems out of place. And because you have more energy moving through you, the ratio of like density, like our physical body, and energy, which is what brings our physical body to life, the ratio is like less dense, more high energy, and we feel lighter. We can run fast, we can move, we barely even notice that we weigh anything. And then when we're down here feeling grief and sadness and suffering and fear, our vibration is lower. And so we feel more dense, we feel heavier in our body because we have less energy holding it up, moving through it. So it's a lot about frequencies, and the frequency of the emotions the energy that is moving through our body, is determined by our mind. So our mind is the major contributor to the emotions that we are experiencing. If we change the way we see things and like change lens to, say, a gratitude lens, then we're going to feel the emotion of gratitude regardless of what our current situation is. Now, of course, we can't just like walk around in bliss the whole time. In fact, I discourage it. My experience with depression is that because I didn't want to feel sadness, I was scared to feel these lower frequency emotions because I felt guilty for feeling anything other than happiness. I was like, well, my life is so good and I have nothing to complain about. And I was kind of brought up with this like, don't complain attitude, be more grateful, don't be ungrateful. So I was like, oh God, I better not be ungrateful. But what that meant was, because I wasn't going down here, I couldn't go up here either. So it wasn't like I was hitting bliss the whole time in terms of my experience. I'd just kind of sit in the middle and good stuff would happen over there, yay. Some sad stuff would be like, no, 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 no. And so I'd stay in this middle band, this middle bracket, kind of depressed, where I'm like not feeling anything at any extremes. Then I came off my motorcycle, broke my arm, had my first surgery, and my life was like, you're gonna sit the fuck down and you're gonna be with your emotions. You're not gonna distract yourself with work. You're not gonna distract yourself with play or anything else. You can try and numb out as much as you want, but like you're gonna sit and you're gonna feel these emotions finally, because emotions being energy in motion, they get caught in our physical body, this energy, and if it's not expressed, cried, screamed, rage, joy, all of these, if the emotions aren't expressed, then they'll sit in our body. And the damn wall can only hold so much until it cracks and the whole thing comes flooding out, which is exactly what happened to me in my recovery from my surgery when I broke my arm. It was like, my life was like, you're gonna feel all of these years of emotions that you've been holding back, all of the anger, all of the rage, all the sadness, all the grief, and the joy. A lot of that was all just like sitting here, just wanting to come out and just be expressed and shifted. So when we feel these emotions and we really allow them to move through us, we don't have to carry them anymore. So I understand this now that I've been on my healing journey for about 3 years and really getting stuck into it over the last 2 years. And now when an emotion wants to move through me, I let it move through me. Obviously, I'm no expert at this, and like I've still got a lot of work to do in terms of allowing that. But I'm not scared anymore to feel sadness, to feel grief, to feel these emotions that might feel like the end of the world down here. Because in my experience, especially recently, every time I go down here and I get a little bit further down here and I get right into the nitty gritty, when I come up here, I'm like, oh my God, there are higher echelons of bliss and euphoric joy that I never even knew existed. I didn't know I could feel so much. And so moving out of a depressive state is about feeling more. And it's not just about feeling more happiness. We have to go down here and excavate to then go back up here. The whole thing is like that. So, anxiety. Anxiety. The feeling of fear, where our adrenals are pumping. We're in a fight or flight mode. Our physical body is ready to move. We're in survival mode when we're in anxiety. And this is all being dictated, like it or not, by our mind, by our thoughts, by the way we are perceiving what's going on. And when we're in survival mode, sometimes that's exactly the mode that we need to be in. In fact, I'd go as far to argue that every time we've been in survival mode is exactly what's been needed. Everything that's happened in our lives so far, even if it's seemingly negative, we can forgive ourselves for that because we were doing our very fucking best at the time. We were in survival mode. Do not judge the behavior or the emotions or the situation that we're in when we're in survival mode. We're just trying to survive. So to bring compassion to that is the first step. But to understand that when we're in survival mode, we're in the emotion of fear. And from the emotion of fear, we are in a contracted state energetically. We get busy in our minds, and quite often our thoughts will compound and create more stories about how things are even worse than they really are. And that will just feed into this cycle of fear. And the beginning of my journey with healing my anxiety came from my journey of mindfulness, to be aware of the thoughts that I'm having, to become the observer, and to understand that I am not my thoughts, I am not my mind, I am not my emotions, I'm not even my body really. I am the loving awareness that is observing this experience that I'm having in my body. And so as soon as I'm like, here's my thoughts, my angry thoughts, my anxious thoughts, and they're in my mind just going crazy like this, as soon as I realize that this is not who I am, and I'm actually this person over here, and I can observe this and watch this and be like, oh, look at those thoughts going, how crazy, and like observe my body and be like, holy shit, I'm like in fight or flight mode right now. My heart rate's up, my breathing's short, and everything's kind of contracting down. From that place, I can still, with practice, be the observer, and then I'm not it. And then from that place, I can start to say, okay, how can I bring love here? How can I do something or think or bring myself back into harmony? Because when we're down here in fear, sometimes we need it to run from something, we need it to survive. It's all needed, it's all necessary. But if we're living in fear the whole time, our adrenals are shot, our immune system is shot, our digestive system goes off the rails, and our whole life just becomes more difficult. And that's because we're out of harmony. It's not bad to go down here and feel fear, but to live down here perpetually, eventually it's like an engine that's not quite ticking over properly. Bits are going to start falling off occasionally. And so this is why the healing of one's mental health is huge. And it's no small task. It's a journey. But there are also so many people in this world who have dedicated their lives to helping people like you and me bring awareness to these distortions, to these stories, and love them, see them, understand that we are not them, and then start to change, start to choose something different with practice. So meditation has been a game changer for me. I'm not saying like, oh, fix all mental health with meditation. I'm not an expert. I'm not like some mental health healer. I'm just explaining my experience with it. And I highly recommend you seek after professional assistance. My therapist has changed my life, or helped me guide myself to change my own life. Definitely ask for help. But meditation has been a game changer for me, because with the meditation, I can create this stillness and I can become the observer of the thoughts in the mind going crazy. And then I'm like, oh yeah, I'm not these thoughts. And then suddenly they just kind of disappear, and then they come back again, and then they disappear again, and they kind of come and go like clouds. But you don't sit there and think, oh, I am that cloud, although spiritually speaking, you are the cloud. We don't get attached to it. And removing the identity of thoughts and like, I am my thoughts, I am these negative stories, and just seeing them or hearing them as voices that aren't us is the beginning of making a change and choosing to think something different. So meditation is super important, mindfulness practices, and every single moment in each day is an opportunity to check in with ourselves, learning to check in with ourselves. Game changer is emotional intelligence. So what is emotional intelligence? It's knowing, if someone says, how are you feeling right now? You can go, I'm actually feeling, and then you know what language to bring to explain and express how you are feeling to someone so that you can communicate it with them, and then they can hear you and see you and understand you and then help you if necessary. And we can hear and see and understand ourselves and help ourselves also from this space of emotional intelligence where we actually know what the fuck is going on in our body. Am I feeling anxious? Am I feeling sad? Am I feeling content? Am I feeling joy? Am I feeling bliss? Am I feeling gratitude? Am I feeling grief? Am I feeling guilty? Am I feeling shame? Like there's this whole spectrum. And to check in with ourselves and really understand, and so we can just be like, actually I'm feeling a little bit anxious, but it might have something to do with the 2 coffees that I've had today. Checking in with ourselves constantly. And often I find if I'm feeling anxious, I'll check in with what's going on up here in my mind and just take a moment, a snippet of meditation. It's where I'm taking this meditation practice and I'm bringing it into my main life, everyday life. In any now moment, I can go, can I be present with my mind? Let me be present with my thoughts. Oh yeah, I'm telling myself this story again where my body, my physical body reacts to it. I'm telling myself some story about how I'm not going to be able to afford to pay my bills next month, or some negative outlook on something that's happening in the future that we have no control over. That's a story that's being created in our mind. Regardless of how accurate you think it might be, that story, our physical body doesn't know the difference between a story and reality. If you're thinking it, your body will react. So we can say, okay, actually right now I don't need to be getting fearful and anxious about paying my bills next month. Right now I need to actually just like go to work or get on with my day and do the things that are actually going to help me avoid the situation where I can't pay my bills next month. Can I be more present? What can I do for myself right now? Is it helpful for me to be telling a negative story that my body is reacting to with anxiety? No. More often than not, no. So the healing journey and bringing awareness to our mental health is a lot about investigating and exploring the root of these stories that we play out, these stories about ourselves that often are like, I'm not good enough, I'm not worthy enough, I'm not pretty enough, I'm not enough. I don't deserve this, and this because I'm not enough here, and here. And what we continually believe about ourselves and the stories that we tell ourselves in our mind, our body will resonate at that frequency, and then we will magnetize and attract the things and experiences that confirm our beliefs. So if we believe that we are not a good person and that we aren't worthy of love, or we're not worthy of good things coming to us, our body will hold that vibration and frequency, and we will magnetize that exact resonance to us to confirm that our beliefs are true. Now, mindfulness and healing one's mental health is a lot about changing the belief systems that we are operating with up here that actually dictate our reality. So for me, I've had to really let go of these old paradigms, these old beliefs that I had about myself that were bringing in negativity into my life. I used to have this belief that I wasn't lovable, that I was unworthy of love, and that I had to achieve something and do something to qualify for love, to deserve it. And now I've changed that belief system to, I deserve love just because I exist. I don't have to do anything. And where does that love come from? It comes from me. It comes from in here. Because I believe that I am worthy of love. And then I see it. I see it in my reality. I'm holding the vibration of self-love. And as I hold that vibration, I receive more love from my reality. And as that compounds, that belief compounds, and I find experiences that confirm that belief that I am worthy of love, the belief gets deeper and more real. And now, if I catch myself or find myself in a belief that like I'm a bad person, or I'm not worthy of love, or of course this is happening to me because nothing good ever happens to me and the world's out to get me, I can feel that in my body. And because I'm now used to not feeling anxious the whole time, if I do feel anxious, I'm like, hold up, what is that? I'm not saying it's bad. I'm not saying I shouldn't be feeling it. I'm just checking in. I'm saying like, what is that? Where does that come from? Oh, it's a thought that I've been having. Maybe I'm judging myself right now, or I'm scared that other people are judging me. Fear of judgment from others. And so from this place now, I'm in the driver's seat of my mind. Not the stories, not the things that we were told when we were kids. I'm in the driver's seat. I have choice over what I think, and I have choice, therefore, over my frequency. Often there are things that are happening to us in our life, of course, that are going to make us go like this on the roller coaster of life. But the lens of perception that I'm wearing about whether or not I'm a victim to it, and then I spiral down into this like, of course the world's out to get me story. Instead of spiraling down, I have gratitude. I'm like, what's the lesson to be learned here? What's the divine, beautiful lesson that I'm going to take and alchemize into gold so that I can grow and understand and know myself better? How can I bring this back into harmony? And then and then life just becomes this dance. And I become more sensitive. As my scale broadens of how much I can feel, I really start to understand the importance now of making time to feel gratitude for all the blessings that are in my life. Even if there's nothing you can find to feel gratitude for other than the fact that you exist. And be grateful for the fact that this is gonna end. Like maybe it's just gratitude that this isn't gonna last forever. This too shall pass. There is hope. There's always hope. There's always love. It's just, do we have awareness of it? Can we see it? Can we find those blessings? Can we find and feel that gratitude and know that change is coming? Show up for ourselves. You are the hero that you've been waiting for. You are the person that you've been waiting for. You are the healer. Seek external assistance, definitely. But there will be a penny drop moment when you realize, I am the one doing the healing. I'm the one that's coming to save me. And it's incredibly empowering. Anyway, this is quite a long video now. So just to end off, I want to say to you, let those emotions flow. Let them move through you. You don't have to hold on to this anymore. You are safe to feel. You are safe to feel it all. So feel it. And ask for help, even in a prayer. Call it in. Call in people who will be able to sit in deep presence with you and listen to you without trying to fix you, without judging you, or without telling you that it's all just going to be all right, and really let you feel those emotions that just want to be felt so you can put them down. And this is an ongoing, constant process of grieving. I'm grieving the death of previous versions of myself. I'm grieving the death of my grandparents still. I'm grieving the end of friendships or the end of relationships. Like, life is about grieving, but if we don't feel those grieving feelings, then we carry them with us, and then they have an impact on everything that comes into our reality, and they can tarnish our experience. So I'm giving you a permission slip to soften up. Sit with your emotions, be with them. It's fucking scary, I know, especially if it's the first few times, and I still avoid it occasionally, most of the time. But I'm always so happy when I make time and space to really fucking feel it. Because you gotta feel it to heal it. And I promise you, it feels good to put those heavy bags down. Ask for help, seek support. It is out there. You've got this. You are an eternal divine being of light, having a temporary human experience. You are not your thoughts. You are not your anxiety, you are not your depression, you are not your body, you are not your mind. Fuck, you're not even your name. You are the conscious awareness that is having this experience. To not take it personally is a game changer. I am so fucking proud of you. You are an incredibly brave soul to be coming to Earth at this time. And you are doing a massive service to the collective by feeling your emotions, by processing them, and alchemizing that darkness into light. You are needed here. You are loved, and you are infinitely supported by the universe, I promise you. And I am sending you so much love. I'm with you every step of the way. You've got this. Keep going.